Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a Q&A/tips vlog on Singapore for you. We just got back from a trip to Singapore. We were there for a few days and we learned a lot about the city while we were there. So I thought, why not share some of those insights with you guys and hopefully make your Singapore trip planning a little bit easier. So let's get started. Okay, first question. What is the best way to get around Singapore? For me, the answer would have to be the MRT system. It's Singapore's train system. It is super easy to use, especially once you get the hang of it, and super cheap. Or there's a lot of lines, so you can get to anywhere. And with those lines, there's also a circle line that connects all of those lines, so you can get to anywhere. It is super cheap. It only costed us, I would say around $6 Australian, which was probably a bit less in Singapore dollars. And that's us using it, I can say minimum 6 times in a day. So it's pretty cheap. And the most you'd have to wait on the platform for a train is, I think we waited maybe 5 minutes tops. And that was the longest. Most of the time it was like we'd get off one train, go to our connecting train, and it was like a 1 minute, 2 minute wait. You'd never feel rushed as well. The platforms never feel like the stations, they never feel too busy or anything. Like, I think we only felt that it was a little bit busy on the day, what day was it? I think that the day we went to Universal Studios, because we were up earlier, so and that was a Monday. So everyone was getting on the train to go to work possibly. But even then, it wasn't that bad. The best thing is they're so clean. Like, you can't eat or drink on them. I guess that's how they keep them really clean. They're fully air conditioned, which is great as well. And super easy to actually use to go there, so to get on it, sorry. All you have to do is use your debit card or your credit card and you tap on at the gates, and when you get to your stop, you tap off. So even when you're changing trains because you've got to get to where you want to go, you go through the actual station. You don't have to tap on and off for that. So yeah, that is our recommendation. Also, if you don't want to tap on and off, the thing with tapping on and off with your credit card and debit card is you need one per person, so you can't share. So you can't, for instance, I can't tap with my card, then give my card to my husband or my kids and for them to tap on with the same one. It won't work. You need to have a separate one. So if it's just 2 of you, obviously you'll probably have like a debit card and a credit card, so you can use those. But when you're a family and you have kids, that's where it gets a little bit difficult. So your option there is they don't have single tickets. You have to buy an MRT card. They cost $10. Now, how that works is you have to have on that card at all times $3 remaining on it. And then you have $5 of credit on it within that $10. So technically the card is costing you that $2. So you'll need one per person for that. We didn't go down that road only because we're like, well, you're losing that $2 for starters each for the cost of that card. And then you have to have the minimum of $3 on the card at all times to be able to get through the gates. So for us, we're just like, well, then at the end of our trip, we're going to have $3 on each of our cards for nothing. They get to keep that. That's $6 Singaporean dollars that they get to keep, which for me, I didn't like that. You should be able to use it all up down to the last cent. But I guess they want that to make sure when you get off at your next stop, that depending where you're going, that there's sufficient funds on there. So yes, it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, as a tourist, I don't like that because I'm leaving the money there. It would have been more handy if they could do a single day pass or something for a certain amount. You can use that. Yeah, the other thing is you don't know how much the trip is going to cost you. You just have to tap because even at the gates actually, when we're tapping, when you tap out, it doesn't actually tell you how much your trip just costed. So we had to wait till a couple of days later to see in our account what it actually costed. Like I said, we didn't have a choice, and it was the easiest way to get around. But then when we saw how much it actually cost, it didn't cost us much. I think we used it every day we were there. In total, I think it cost us about $13 for the 3 days. It's around 13, that's Australian dollars, mind you. $13, I think, for the 3 days that we used it, which is pretty good. So yeah, my opinion, use the MRT. Next question, is food in Singapore expensive? Yes and no. So if you were to go to a restaurant, yes, especially seafood and meat. In restaurants, it's expensive. So, and even more so expensive if you're going to eat at a restaurant at Marina Bay. If you watch our vlog, you'll see we ate at Labo restaurant and it was very expensive, but a good experience to do it once. But if you eat at the hawker centres, then it is so cheap. And you know what? I really recommend you do. We loved the food at the hawker centres. In the hawker centre at Chinatown, it cost us $10, so 10 Singapore dollars, which is most likely like 11, 12 Australian dollars. We got 2 main meals and a dessert. Now, please tell me where else for that money could you get that? Like, it was incredible. And the food was so flavoursome. It was delicious. It was, yeah. Go watch my vlogs, you'll see what I think of the food. You can see the portion size. The portion size are huge. Like, it's a main size. We also ate Lau Pasat. And again, that one's a touch more expensive than the Chinatown one. I think we paid for a main and I think it was 8 satay skewers. We got, I think, beef and chicken from memory, plus a dessert. I think it was just under 15 Singapore dollars, which means it'll be about 18 Australian dollars. But even that's still cheap. Depending which hawker centre you go to, prices do vary. Like if you were to go to the one in Newtown, where the hawker centre where Crazy Rich Asians, the movie, was filmed, where at the beginning they go to that and order a whole heap of food. If you go to that one, because it's more popular because of the movie, it is more expensive. Now, I'm not saying it's crazy expensive like at restaurants or anything. It's still cheap, but out of all the hawker centres, it's a bit more expensive. And I think if you go to one of the cheaper ones, you're still going to get the same food, if not better, at one of the cheaper ones. But 100% go eat at a hawker centre. We ate there once every day we were there, I think. Was it once? Yeah, once every day. I was trying to think, did we eat there twice? But we loved the food so much. We want to go back just for that. So yeah, do yourself a favour. Go eat there. Do you have to tip in Singapore? Short answer, no, you do not. If you want, you probably could, but I think a lot of places tend to not take it. But yeah, if you feel like you want to, go ahead. No one's going to stop you. But it is not customary to have to tip. In my opinion, what are the must-see and do in Singapore? Where do I start? There's so much to see and do there. My favourites were Gardens by the Bay, the Cloud Dome and Floral Fantasy. Absolutely amazing. Floral Fantasy is so beautiful. It's small, but definitely worth seeing it. And the Cloud Dome, just the size of it, that big waterfall and being able to walk all the way up, it was just incredible to see it. With that, we got our tickets online on the Gardens by the Bay website. I didn't use a third party only because their actual website had better deals, because I wanted to go and see everything there. And there isn't one ticket that you can get for everything, for like the Skywalk, the Observatory Deck, Flower Dome, Cloud Dome, the Floral Fantasy. There's not one ticket for all of it. I wish they did that. They should do that, especially for tourists. So I had to work out which, because they do combinations like 2 or 3 together, and then you got to purchase the others separate. So I kind of worked out to see which combinations worked out the cheapest way at the end to do all of them, and purchased off their website. That was the easiest way to do it. If you do it, say, from Klook, they don't actually have all the options and tickets for all the attractions there at Gardens by the Bay. So just something to be aware of, just so you don't miss out on everything. What else? I'd have to say you have to definitely go see the Merlion. It doesn't take you long to get there, and you're not going to spend ages there. Obviously, it's just a statue, but it's something that you've got to go and see and take your photo with while you're there. Also, Chinatown, the temple there, absolutely incredible, that temple. There's just, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, there's some detail that will astound you. And then, yeah, if they're having a service there, like a mass, to just see how they do that, it was incredible. And the final thing I would say to definitely go and see is the Light and Water Show at Marina Bay Sands. That blew our mind. It went for ages as well. It was spot on 15 minutes. It was incredible just what they can do. Like, we watched it twice. Once when we were up at Lavo Restaurant to see it from there. It looks so small from up there, but nice to have like that bird's eye view to see the whole thing together. But it was even more spectacular from right in front. Just to let you know, do not stand right in front because you'll get saturated. When it starts whirling, the water just splashes all over you. We got soaked. We were wondering when we got there, why is the ground all wet? We were like, did it rain or what? No, it didn't rain. It's actually the Light and Water Show does that. But it was amazing. It's huge because if you're standing in front, it's just everywhere to look. Go check it out. Those are my top must-see and do's in Singapore. Next, is Universal Studios Singapore worth it? In my opinion, I'd say yes. If you love Universal Studios, of course you got to do it. That's me. I absolutely love the Universal Studios theme parks. So this was a no-brainer for me to go see it. And if you're there, and you have enough time, go do it. It is a lot smaller than Universal Studios in Hollywood and Universal Studios Orlando. So just keep that in mind. To me, one day is enough. Like, you could manage to do all the there's not that many rides compared to the other studios. So you could fit in all the rides in one day. And like, we had a few long lines. So for one ride, like Transformers, we did the single rider just so we could fit it in because it was just way too long to wait. So yes, you can fit in all the rides in the one day. The only thing I would say is you wouldn't be able to do all the meet and greets and all the shows. So we did some shows, but did one meet and greet. For us, we had to 100% do the Transformers meet and greet. So with the shows and the meet and greets, you'll have to prioritise if you want to do all the rides. Or if you're someone who likes doing the meet and greets and the shows, do all of those and then prioritise which rides you really want to do. It's definitely worth it. I wouldn't say do 2 days. Like I just said, you could manage to do it in one day. I don't think it would be worth doing 2 days. And also, in saying that, I don't think a fast pass will be worth it for this either, just because there's not that many rides. You don't need to use a fast pass for the meet and greets or for the shows. I definitely would not spend extra for a fast pass. Now, in saying that, I don't know if they have that option there. Like, I Actually, they do have a fast pass option for there, because when on one ride we did see people going on a separate line, walking straight past us while we were waiting, because there was the fast pass. I think that was for Transformers that we noticed that. So Transformers had the normal line, your single rider line, and then your fast pass line. The single rider line went really, really fast for that one. We waited maybe 10 minutes tops. But yeah, definitely worth going to see it. And the ticket prices aren't that expensive. When we went in January, we paid $82 Singapore dollars each. So it wasn't too bad. Now, to follow on from that Universal Studios question, is it easy to get to Universal Studios? Do you need to stay at Resort World on Sentosa Island? No, I don't think so. You can if you want. We didn't. We stayed in the city centre just to be closer to everything else, because I think if you stay on the island, you probably would just do what's on the island. It's too much of a hassle to every day get off it and go to city centre. I'm not saying you can't. Like, there is the train line that you can do that, the MRT. But you don't have to, and it is more expensive to stay there at Resorts World than in the city centre. So from the city centre, we got the MRT to Harbourfront, and from there the cable car down to the island, and then got the free Sentosa Island Express monorail, and it was like one stop, we'll get off and it will be right at Resorts World where Universal Studios is. It's like a 2-minute walk to the entry of Universal Studios from there. Now, while I'm on that, we got the cable car. We got a ticket where it had the cable car and the Sky Orbit, so a round trip for both. So we ended up getting the cable car. So the Sky Orbit you can only get from up the top at Mount Faber. So from Harbourfront, we took the cable car up and then used the Sky Orbit from Faber all the way down to Sentosa Island to get that full experience. On the way back, we reversed it, but we didn't get the Sky Orbit again. We just got the cable car back up to Harbourfront and then the MRT back to the station near our hotel. Very easy. With that, we did purchase our tickets online from the cable car website. I think it's called Mount Faber Cable Car, something like that. I'll try and link it for you in the description for you. It was the easiest way to get tickets for it and allowed us to get the Sky Orbit as well. And it was like a deal, so it saved us a little bit of money rather than getting them separate. So following on from that of where to stay, I don't think you need to stay on Orchard Road. Why? Because I feel like it was a bit further out than from everywhere else, like Chinatown, Marina Bay, Gardens by the Bay, and it is further up, and whereas Sentosa Island is all right down the bottom. So yeah, it didn't feel like location was the greatest. Also, it is very expensive and the rooms are very small. For me, I feel like the best location is somewhere close to Chinatown. Now, if you're going to stay in Chinatown, be aware that, yes, the rooms, because of how populated that area is, the rooms are very, very tiny when I was looking at it. So we just stayed a little bit out of it in Tanjong Pagar. So on Anson Road, our hotel was called the M Hotel Singapore City Centre. Fantastic location. We loved that spot. So you weren't smack bang in the centre, say Chinatown or anywhere where it's very loud and noisy. We're just outside of it. So when you got to it, you're like, it's nice and quiet. The room, huge. Like a really spacious big room. So yeah, go check out my blog if you want to see it. And it also included a buffet breakfast. The breakfast there, amazing. It was the best buffet breakfast we have had. So yeah, amazing hotel. Couldn't rave more about the breakfast as well. The location was about a 15-20 minute slow walk to, say, Chinatown, the Maxwell Centre, and also to La Palsat. So it's very convenient. We walked to those places and then got the MRT to wherever else we want. We had a MRT station, the Tanjong Pagar station, 5-minute walk from us at most, I'd say. Yeah, it could have been less, like it was that close, which allowed us to get to wherever we wanted. So definitely was a great hotel to stay at. So yeah, just bear that in mind. You can always stay that little bit outside, and you don't need to stay at a really expensive hotel because it will be smaller and you're not getting value for money. Just taking that little bit out will give you better value for money. We saved a lot of money where we stayed as well, just because Singapore's public transport system, the MRT, is just makes it so much easier to get around everywhere. So look, no matter where you stay, it's going to be easy to get around. How long do I recommend staying in Singapore to have enough time to do most things? I'd say 4 to 5 days, which is 5 to 6 nights. We did 4 nights, which was 3 full days for us. I would have liked personally 1 more day just to explore Sentosa Island more. We didn't get that chance. We only got to do Universal Studios there. So being on the cable car, it just from up there, it looked incredible. So I would have liked to do the beaches down there to see what it was like. Also maybe to go and check out Adventure Cove Water Park, the Skyline Lug and Dolphin Island. And if we had another day, this one's not a necessity to do, is to go and see the zoo there as well. But you know what? I guess this gives us a really good excuse to go back to Singapore. Next, is shopping in Singapore worth it? My honest opinion, no, it is not. It's got a lot of big name brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, and they're everywhere. So it's not just one of each store, say on Orchard Road, like Orchard Road is full of them. It's every shopping centre you go to, besides in Chinatown, they have those big name brands. Now look, if you're willing to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars, then yes, it's worth it for you. If you're like me, I don't spend that money and I don't buy those brands, it wasn't worth it. There was maybe 1 or 2 that we saw of shopping centres that had some, what would you call it, middle range price shops, like your H&M and your Adidas, Nike stores, stuff like that. But going to them, it's pretty much the same as what you would see anywhere else, like would see that back here at home. So didn't really shop in those. Chinatown had the Chinatown markets. Again, we didn't buy much. Every store we went to had the same stuff and it wasn't for my age group. I felt like the clothes were more for older people, like 60 plus. So yeah, didn't think there was much to shop. So for us, even to go back to Singapore, it'll be a very cheap trip because we'd only need money for food and any attractions that we wanted to see that we required tickets. So you can do Singapore on the cheap side, which is great. It makes a really good trip. Second last question, what is the weather like in Singapore? So we went in January and the weather was muggy, bit sticky. But we learned super fast that if we felt a cool breeze come, we were like, oh, that feels so good. But we knew it was about to start raining, take cover or put an umbrella up. It would rain for about 5 to 10 minutes, not too hard. Like sometimes it would come down, but not like torrential. Sometimes it would be a light sprinkle. But as soon as it was over, it will become that hot, muggy, sticky weather. Look, I took my handheld fan thinking I'll need it because I've heard Singapore is really, really hot. Did not use it. It was not needed at that time. I don't know if you'll need it at other times, but I didn't need it. So yes, in saying that, we only used the umbrella once. The times that it did rain, we pretty much either stood under cover for 5-10 minutes and then went on about a day, or actually near a shopping centre, and we went into the shopping centre for a bit, came out and it was stopped raining. So yeah, it was okay. Put it this way, we're able to walk places and not be like really sweaty and yucky. And obviously we're checking out, like doing all the sightseeing things. So yeah, it was okay for us. But in saying that, if you go to Gardens by the Bay, I ended up lucky I did, because I've heard that it's cold in the domes. Take a light cardigan or something, because yes, it is very cold in the domes. So, obviously for the water fountains and all the greenery, they need the cold because it's so muggy outside. So yeah, just a tip to take a light cardigan if you're going to Gardens by the Bay for the domes. But yeah, other than that, we didn't mind the weather at all in January. Not sure what it's like other times of the year. I know there are other times of the year where it's very rainy there. So yeah, you just have to Google that and see when's the best time to go. That's essentially what I did to make sure we're going at an okay time. And last question, do you recommend visiting Singapore? Oh my God, 100% yes. Do yourself a favor, go check it out. It is an amazing city, very clean, all the people are very friendly, amazing food, lots to see and do. There's definitely culture there as well, with different cultures there. So you've got Singaporeans, you've got the Chinatown, you've got Little India, so yeah, lots to see and do. There's nothing like it, like with the Gardens by the Bay, like where else can you go see something like that? We loved it and we would love to go back. So that's a little bit of insight into Singapore based on what I experienced and what I learnt. And I'm hoping that if you're planning a trip to Singapore or going, that's going to help you. If you do have any other questions or you want my opinion on something, please drop it in the comments below. I'll try and answer it if I can. But other than that, I hope you have an absolutely amazing time in Singapore. I'm sure you'll love it just as much as we did. Like, we really want to go back. We loved it that much. And hoping we get to sometime in the near future. But at this point, not too sure when. So I think I will leave it at that. And I'm going to love yous and leave you and say goodbye for now. Bye, everyone.